Hello, hello, hello. Good day and happy last day of March. What's happening, everybody? My name is Sonja Marie with Wordlife Astrology here on this beautiful day. Like I said, it's March 31st, 2025, and I am so grateful to be in this position. So grateful to have the opportunity to share with you what it is that I know. I know that there are thousands, if not millions, of people on this World Wide Webby thing and all the socials giving information about astrology on a weekly basis, a daily basis, some an hourly basis. God bless their heart. But I am here to give it once a week, and I am one of the millions. And listen, you tuning into me, even though you speak to, or I should say, listen to a whole bunch of other people. I'm grateful that you are here. And let me say this before I really get started. I'm really super grateful for the uptick of people that have sent donations to me via PayPal, Venmo, Cash App. You have no idea how that sits in my heart. You have no idea how helpful that is in like a surprise eclipse kind of moment when you're not expecting it and it just lands in your heart and in your pocket. I really am grateful. And I see you and I appreciate you for appreciating me. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I do accept donations, $5, $2, $10, anything that you can give $100,000 to your girl. to keep this channel going and to having that exchange of energy is the way that I say it. You know what I mean? Sometimes we just get on this thing and become voyeurs, and voyeurism can like take without giving. So I always suggest that you give a little bit, and if you can't, because not everybody is in a financial position, I get that. I'm not soliciting to the point where I want to make you broke, but share the information, right? Share the link with a friend, with somebody that you think is that needs to hear this word. I appreciate that. Hey, Gemini Rising, thank you. I appreciate you, honey. Thank you so very much. $4.99 goes a long way, girl. My favorite juice from Trader Joe's is $4.99. Don't you know that Power Up? Y'all know them Power Up juices in Trader Joe's? I like the red one the best. Anyway, if you can't share some money, if you can't share, like I said, if you can't share money, share a little bit of the word. If you can't share the word, at the very least, y'all, live it. At the very least, take this information as serious as possible. And that is an energy exchange for sure. If you just concentrate on one thing that's said during that week and you really hone on that and be incredibly intentional with it, that's energy exchange, because you're taking that information out and putting it back into the world in the rightful space. You dig what I'm saying? I got a little flash happening and we're about to get on track. But also want to give another announcements. I do readings for those that want to get a read. I do couples readings as well as I do cute little Zoom party readings too. Hit me up on my website, or you can DM me and ask a few questions if you like. We're gonna jump right into this week though, because I have some things to talk about. Oh, I forgot my little rag. Okay, let's keep it going. How was your weekend? How was the eclipse weekend for you? Talk to me, and tell me all about it, or tell each other for that matter. I really appreciate it. Really, I do. What's happening to all the folks that are in here? Again, thank you, Gemini Rising, for that donation. What's up, the chatter? And Tammy is here. Just Brianna is here. Kim Singletary. And what's up, Angelique? I appreciate your donation, sweetie pie. That was so generous of you. Thank you once again and again. Grand Rising, Grand Day, Grand Central Station. Anthony, what's happening with you, sir? Anthony, was that you about to slip your mother a mushroom? Tell me how that went happen. How that happened? Did she see the colors? I laughed about that for days. I ain't even gonna lie. Tiffany, what's happening? And our Candace. Candace is here. It was a good weekend, wasn't it, Anthony? I want y'all to talk about it and really, really recollect it. Like honestly, we can sit back and we can talk about all the things that we need to grow on, all the things that we are healing through, all the things that this life is dynamically in the most awesome design putting together for us to grow through and to evolve. And one of the parts of evolution in that evolution, Anthony and everybody else, is to celebrate the wins, is to celebrate the good days, is to celebrate those good moments, those, even if they're just little, like walking across the street and kicking a rock or something, buying some juicy fruit. Ooh, I love juicy fruit gum, although it only lasts for 7 seconds. A little nice little piece of juicy fruit. Celebrate the wins. I don't know about you, but I was the same way, Anthony. This weekend was dope. It was really, really sweet. There was a I'm gonna take my time with it as I feel this little download, and then we're gonna get into this astrological situations. As y'all know, I do these little announcements in the beginning so people can get the notifications, right? And come on in here. So thank you for being patient in the beginning of this thingy here. But for me, the weekend felt like not just that eclipse opening up in a way that Aries energy is like, va, 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 boom, let's go, let's do this thing. But it was a serious, I don't want to overuse words, but seriously, like a portal of energy, like a thrusting, like a, oh shit. Like it's almost like somebody was on my back. It was a big ass cowboy boot on my back, pushing me on Friday night. Friday night was like a big suction, like all that shit that used to hurt, all that shit that you was thinking about, all the things that you was feeling. It was like a boop, it just plucked me Friday night through the thing. And all day Saturday and all day Sunday, I was like shining in this new space in which the past was literally floating behind me. And it tried to come on up in my brain, but my body, my emotional prowess, even my mind in certain parts didn't want to hold on to it. It came up in my mind, but it didn't succeed on getting on the loop. Did y'all experience that? It didn't, the mind didn't want to loop it. The mind was like, I thought we was done. Didn't we just get the butt plug out on Friday night? Sonja, it's too early for that shit. Listen, didn't we just like get plucked out Friday night? We ain't got time for that. And poof, just soaring. Please talk to me about it. Y'all can even comment below when we're done with it. Let me know how this new moon solar eclipse treated you, 9 degrees Aries this past weekend. You know I'm a crab. You know I'm a Cancer. I got to dance back every now and again in order to move forward. So that was my little two-step. Let's talk about the week, though. And remember, if you do have a question, please and very, very please put several question marks and or exclamation points behind the sentence so I can see it, y'all. I have to tell this for the newbies because I am visually challenged at times and I have to really focus up. I really hope y'all had a good one. I really, really do. You did, April? You had a good weekend? Somebody was on your back. Jack, don't smoke no crack. All right. Today, being Monday, March 31st, the moon is in Taurus. Always love when the moon is in Taurus. I love when the moon is in every sign, and I know I say that. But I do because, again, if you know anything about me and the way that I teach astrology, I never shit on one sign or one vibration. I may have my own judgments and opinions, but as a teacher and as a person who pulls back and sees the benefit of astrology, every sign is necessary. Every energy is necessary. So find the good and find the not so good, in which I affectionately call the underbelly of a particular sign. Why? Because it is all within us all. Y'all do know that, right? Even though your sun sign is a particular sign and that is the ruler of who you are, that's the core you have all of these different parts of your personality. If you don't have different planets in other signs, you have the houses that are in other signs or asteroids that are in other signs. We are made up of all of it. So if you don't like certain signs, that means you don't like any part of yourself. And we over that, aren't we? We over shitting on ourselves, aren't we? Y'all want me to get into preaching mode sooner than soon? We only 10 minutes in this thing. We over not liking certain aspects of ourselves. We're trying to love up on those areas, defend those areas, support those areas. You understand? Find answers and solutions for those areas that we don't necessarily like. We're learning how to change those areas instead of talking shit about those things. We are telling people, stopping people at the gate who want to remind us of these ill-fitting things about our personality. We are stopping them at the gate. We're not doing that any longer. We're not playing the games. And I'm going to tell you honestly, if I fall in my conditioning and you see me out on the street doing that, just tap me on the shoulder and remind me nicely, please. Remind me of this assignment. We're not doing that. We're not talking ill will about people in situations, and definitely not about ourselves. Okay. I just wanted to say that real quick. But today, being that the moon is in Taurus, it's time to eat. Y'all know Taurus and Cancer is the foodies of the zodiac. So the moon, I talk about the moon because the moon is the emotional vibration, right? The karmic energy in which we all feel and oftentimes what we respond to. So we need to know what is the force that is probing us to respond every single moment of this day. So today, with it being in Taurus, is about eating. It's about being calm. It's about being steadfast. If you have some tasks to do or to complete, today is a good day to do that because all earth signs get down like that, especially Taurus and Virgo. They finish a thing. It's time to pragmatically put the energy, the discipline, and the support for yourself into finishing and or continuing a project, a task, something that you set out to do. Taurus energy is also, I don't know if y'all know this, but I do have a dope ass book out called The Signs, an Astrological Memoir. You can get that joint on Amazon, although I've been boycotting Amazon for a little bit. So go to I was gonna say CD Baby, which actually is a subsidiary of Book Baby, in which I was about to say you can get it on Book Baby. You can go to my link in my Instagram link tree situation and get the book. It's only $20, and it's about astrology in a memoir type of form, letting us know, like I just said, we have all signs within us. So I explain what all signs, how they come out in our lives and how they come out around in our lives outside of us as well. So I explain in the book that the Taurus energy is the big manifester, the great manifester. Did y'all know that? Here's the real reason why Taurus energy has a way of manifesting money and or anything. It has respect for money, it's respect for value. Taurus has respect for worth. Taurus don't too fast, right? Why? Because it wants to vet a situation. It wants to make sure you are worthy of his love, of his care, and of his devotion. Because when Taurus energy gets in you and gets hard in you and wants to prove itself and or shine its light, what it does naturally, it won't let go. It'll be so devoted that it will convince itself, I'm in this for the long haul. So Taurus takes its time, hence takes its time in seeing the value in something, hence can manifest whatever it needs because it respects the value of a thing, of money, of people. Does that make sense to y'all? Ruled by Venus, Gemini rising. Let's go. Let's go, astrology student. Let's go. You understand what I'm saying? So in this moon, look for that type of energy. Manifestation just comes from you sitting back for 5 minutes, just thinking about it. I really, 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 really want X, Y, and Z, spirit. And let me tell you why I want this in this moment in time. Let me tell you what I'm going to do with it. Let me tell you how long I've been waiting. Unless, you don't really need to remind God of that. But the bottom line is that to pull it in, manifest, okay? What it is that you want and put respect on that, spec on that. That's the key. The key is to put respect on it so it can find its way to you. No one wants to be abused, not even energy. Okay? So that's where the moon is right now. The moon is also in Taurus, being in the underbelly of that feeling, especially when this moon in Taurus starts to hit up different planets in an adverse way, like a square or an opposition or a quincunx, right? It has an underbelly feeling of stubbornness, of punishment. Taurus energy can be really, really mean, y'all. Have you met a mean ass bull? I know I have. And they honestly can take that value thing to a different level when it comes to being mean, meaning that they believe everybody's supposed to give them what it is they deserve. They believe everybody is supposed to bow down to their form of materialism and or manifestation and or value. So they get a little mean and a little, as you know, the elders used to say, a little snobby with it. Watch out for that. Because even though you're not a Taurus, it can land on you. Remember, it's in the moon right now. So it's an emotional response that can come from us or that can be garnered upon us. That's the right way of saying that? Whatever, you got it. So today, there's really no aspects with the moon in Taurus. That's why I took a little time, a little lengthy time to express what that means. So feel that. Feel all of that. And I pray that you stay calm in this day. Because listen, we just came from that wonderful, wonderful open-ended portal of that new moon solar eclipse, so beautifully aligned. 9 degrees. That's where the completion came from. And that little butt plug, 9 degrees is the ending of things, right? That 9 degrees Aries, and then pushed us out to make us smile and see a new way of doing things. So we need to sit with this moon in Taurus on this Monday with no other aspects at all, and rub it on us like lotion, y'all, for real. Sit in our calm, eat a nice little piece of cake, and reward yourself for keeping yourself calm as much as possible through this eclipse season. Now, tomorrow, this is what now understand this too. Before we go any further, I want to reiterate what I titled this particular video to be. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, but I think it's appropriate that I say it before, maybe in the middle and possibly at the end, but definitely before. So if you're that type of student, you can look to what I'm talking about that is in regards to this title. And this week, we are setting them up to knock them out. Setting them up to knock them out. Can y'all say that with me or type it in the comments? We're going to set it up this week to knock it out. And when I mean knock it out, I don't mean like knock it out the way. I don't mean like be mean and knock it down and destroy it. I mean knock it out like knock it out. Oh, it's gone. That kind of thing. Why? Because the setup part, and think about this, especially to all the astrology students and the village for show. The setup part is the number of water and earth signs we have that are in conjunction and or just aspecting one another. And then the knock it out part is the air signs and the fire signs that are like, yup, let's go, let's do it, let's rock, let's roll. That's the air and the fire sign. They don't have too much patience. That energy don't have too much patience. So when we in the set it up part, you got to do what you got to do before it's time to knock it out. That makes sense to everybody? It might make more sense as I go on. That's right. Thank you, D Seals. What up, Sister D? Set it up to knock it out. Let's do that thing, babies. Let's do that. That's one of my favorite Scorpios right there. Y'all get it, right? Okay. And if you don't, ask questions. Tomorrow, starts the high energy cerebral type of day. It's very, very interesting. Why? And I consider it a little bipolar. This is kind of like the pre knock it out position. And I say pre because it's a lot of Gemini and Aries happening. Check this out. Tomorrow, especially in the morning, it feels a little bipolar, right? Oh. No, 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 no. Yeah. Tomorrow, the beginning in the morning is more of the set it up part. Excuse me, I got a burp that wants to come out. Why? Because we have water and air. Sorry, water and earth coming together to do their thing. Tuesday, that moon in Taurus is going to sextile Mars in Cancer. I feel safety to my core. Then I'm motivated. Or it's time to eat. Tomorrow will be a good cheat day. For anybody that want to cheat on their favorite little meal, tomorrow is the day. With the moon in Taurus and Mars in Cancer, it's going to be hard to like stay on a diet or I should say, if you do start a diet or on a diet or being at the very least being conscious of what it is that you eat, add some little activity to that. Because tomorrow's a day in which the moon in Taurus, the mood to eat, the mood to consume, the mood to manifest. These are all different examples on how that moon in Taurus can play out, y'all. That's why I kind of give y'all different directions. It's sitting up with Mars, Cancer, Mars. So I'm going to take all this feeling that Taurus energy is giving and I'm going to execute. I'm going to motivate. I'm going to have sex in a particular type of way. I'm going to initiate some things. When Mars is in Cancer, it does nothing until it feels it. So the moon in Taurus is giving it the loving and hugging and awesome, the generous, the tender feeling of wanting to eat, the safety of building it up, stacking it up, being trepidatious about our disciplines and what it is we need to do, the pragmaticism of our emotions tomorrow in Taurus allows Mars to say, all right, we feel good, we feel safe, we know we can do a thing, we have our ducks in order, we are not only trepidatious, but we vetted the people, we vetted the situation. Now Mars in Cancer says, let's move, let's do it, it feels right, let's go. Now, understand this, though, too. For some people who may think Mars in Cancer is a little sidestepping, yes, it can be. But when it wants to go, when Cancer energy wants to move, please do your favor and get the heck out the way. That's all I'm going to say. Just get out the way because it's emotional. It's a water sign, but it ain't no slouch. You ever see a wave take somebody out? I'm just saying. Tomorrow also the moon will sextile Hello, Sonia. Mercury retrograde is doing a number on my mouth, y'all. Patience. Okay. The moon in Taurus is sextiling Saturn in Pisces. Y'all see the setup? Y'all see what I'm talking about? If you don't, ask a question. The moon in Taurus, the pragmaticism. Do I have to go through it again? The need to eat, the emotional propensity to eat, the trepidation of feeling safe, the setting it all up, being stubborn, but rightfully so. This is what I want to do. This is how I want to stand in a thing. It's actually sextiling in harmony with Saturn. The disciplines, the spiritual disciplines that are coming through, all the hard work that you've been doing or will be doing tomorrow, the fears that are coming up for you, right? Careful care of my disciplines, quietly handling what needs to be done. The disciplines are easier to be found out tomorrow on Tuesday. Why? Because it feels good and it feels safe to do the thing. That's all I'm going to say. Don't fight yourself and don't let anybody else fight you. Tomorrow in the morning, for sure, the earlier part of the day, because Tuesday, again, is a bipolar day with love. All right. I'm not teasing anyone or mocking anyone that is bipolar. I'm saying it is split. It's a dual type of day. So the first part of the day is this pragmaticism of setting the thing up, the pragmaticism of Saturn being in his discipline and showing you your fear in which you can walk through, though, because that moon is sextiling and is saying, okay, I feel safe. We did this thing. We vetted this thing. It feels tender in this moment in time. So here comes the switch. Tuesday, also after that, feeling is the moon in Taurus in conjunction with Uranus in Taurus. Switch. Be willing to be flexible. This is where the energy of the day shifts. You have to be willing. So it can come up like tomorrow in the midday, around 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, depending on where you are time zone wise, right? And you thought to yourself, okay, today's gonna be a good day. I'm setting up. I got things in order. I'm in my office. I got all my paperwork and blah, 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 blah. It's organized. My disciplines is there. I may be a little scared, but I'm gonna put on my brave face. I'm doing my thing. And then all of a sudden, here comes Uranus. Switch. And now you got to get in like high velocity. Now something happens. A phone call comes, or you got to get the kids from school because somebody fell and scraped their knee. God forbid. I hope they don't get hurt any more than that. But the bottom line is like a switch up in the schedule can happen tomorrow, Tuesday. And then that's what brings in the knock 'em out energy. Okay. Why? Because right after that, bust this. That moon sextiles Venus, that moon sextiles Mercury, that moon sextiles Neptune, and then that moon trines Pluto, all in air and fire signs. That's the second half of Tuesday. Do y'all see? Y'all see what I'm talking about? You see how I teach? You understand what I mean? Know what I mean? Know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? Know what I mean? So breaking that all down, check this out. That moon in Gemini, as it goes into Gemini tomorrow in the afternoon after 4:26 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the east side of life, that moon in Gemini sextiles Venus going retrograde. The time to address love, money, or passionate concerns with a Gemini understanding. Whoo! So after the switch up, after the baby got to get picked up early. After my boss don't want to go to that meeting, so now I got to do X, Y, and Z. After my building manager called me and the pipes are burst, so now everybody I got to get out the building, and now we got to stay at a hotel. That switch up. Remember, Uranus is about instant change, erratic type of energy. So after that switch up, here comes the moon in Gemini now that has changed this whole vibration from Taurus, calm ass Taurus, to like communicative Gemini, fast thinking, fast assessing Gemini, informational Gemini. Understand where I'm going? If I'm talking too fast and too much for some of you, ask a question, please, because astrology gets gnarly. Just listen out for the spiritual understanding afterwards if you don't understand the astrology, all right? So that moon in Gemini sextiling Venus and retrograde says, yeah, okay. So maybe it's time to address the fact that this new love or this old love that wants to come back into my house or wants to come back into my heart, we got to talk about it. It's not enough for me to ignore them now. It's not enough for me to just let time go by, because possibly maybe there are some things that you need to get off your heart. Not necessarily to come to closure, but possibly for you to understand, for you to go through and grow through. Does that make sense, everybody? Tomorrow is that day after in the afternoon, late afternoon, like I said, when that moon goes into Gemini, to address some financial issues. Maybe you feel like, okay, Mercury's retrograde, ain't nobody gonna reach back out to me. Well, tomorrow afternoon, not to say somebody will reach out to you, but it's a good time to formulate that email, to ask the questions. The thing I love about Gemini energy, like I say all the time, because Prince was a Gemini, Tupac was a Gemini, K-Dot is a Gemini, who we can name a whole bunch of famous Gemini people. Oh, did you know, not Dorothy Dandridge. Oh, Sonia. I can't stand when my brain does this for me. Josephine Baker was a Gemini. There's a lot of great Geminis in the world, but the thing about Geminis is that they have the gift to gab. Their communication prowess is on point. They can sell you ice in Alaska. That's for sure. So the thing about that moon in Gemini hitting up with Venus retrograde, hitting up with Mercury retrograde. Both Venus and Mercury retrograde are in Aries. It's a time to address any retrograde situations, any past situations of the heart, of value. Hi, mommy. Of the heart, of value, whatever it is, like I said, of money, of love. Communication wise, Mercury, the things you've been thinking, the things you've been planning. It's time to address that with some Tupac understanding. And I'm not saying thug life out this mug. I'm saying use the vernacular, use your words. Approach people with the beautiful thing about Gemini energy, in my opinion, is that they are dual. And people can't stand that because people can't control it. Let's get real about that. That right there. People don't like Gemini energy. Oh, they crazy. They all over the place. That's because you're trying to control them. That's because you're trying to understand where they're coming from. They don't want you to understand. But here's the beauty around that, though. The beauty around seeing different parts of being a Gemini or having Gemini energy, moon in Gemini, and seeing different avenues of it is that you want to reach a form of understanding. Do you get that? Communication, good communication, and enough information. And Gemini's way of seeing things in different ways. It looks two-faced to some, but again, how about you want to control them? But it looks like they're just all over the place. Well, they see all over the place. That's their beauty. That's their gift. They're able to see, okay, I can see why X, Y, and Z did that. And I can see why he did that too. And I can see why she did that too. I think I explained this once before, twice or 3, 4 times. You understand? It's a beautiful thing. So get some of that on you tomorrow when you are identifying any love situation, any money situation, anything that has to do with value or worth, and you don't feel like you are being given your value of worth. Tomorrow, half of Tuesday, the later half of Tuesday, right? Come out with that Tupac slickness. Yo, let me talk to you about something. Let me pull your collar, homie. We got some things to discuss. And again, try to see their perspective as well as your own perspective so you can get to a solution. You dig? Also, tomorrow, that moon will be trining Pluto. Once you do that, then you can feel a little bit powerful. How about that? There's the grand finale. There's the knock it out. Boop. There's the thing. Let it fly. Why? Because everybody wins. At the end of the day, if that moon in Gemini is trying to hook up with Pluto, Pluto's in Aquarius, remember? And Pluto being in Aquarius, we all know that's the beginning of that age of Aquarius kind of feel, but that means everybody wins. Humanity wins. The groups win. Friendships win. The future and what it has for us wins as long as we can communicate. Moon in Gemini says communicate through these things. Talk about it. Why are people so afraid to talk? And I'm going to tell you about 2 good reasons right now. Number 1 is because a person is afraid of getting their feelings hurt when they hear the real truth. Now, I'm not talking about truth like I'm going to get in your face and tell you who you are. That's not truth. That's ego. That's straight ego. My truth and me coming at you, you can't handle it. Nah. People can handle truth. At most times, people can handle truth. It's how you deliver it. And Gemini has the gift of gab in the way in which they deliver it. Always hits on point. You don't have to be the opposite of that, Sagittarius-like, and be blunt about that shit. It's your delivery, your reverence for words, poetry, in the way in which you finagle, how you caress what you say with how you feel. When it lands on a person and they understand, we all win. We all become powerful. We all transform in Pluto's light. Do you understand like that? Don't be a bully. Don't just tell people truth because you think it's what they need to hear. Ask questions. That's how you communicate. Ask questions. People don't want to get their feelings hurt and they don't want to find out the truth. Another thing that people don't want to communicate is because honestly, they don't necessarily know how their emotions are going to take it. It's different from what I just said. Sometimes people don't even trust their own emotional reaction to things. This is a download kind of off what I was just talking about, but not really. But check that out. Are you one of those people which you go, I can't speak about this thing because I know I'm going to go from 0 to 60. I'm either going to be really quiet right now or I'm going to freaking punch you in the neck for what it is you said. First of all, grow up. Grow up, everybody. Grow up. Everybody. Even if a person is trying to attack you because they are ill-fitting, they are immature, they are insecure, it doesn't give you reason and permission to punch somebody in the neck. Manage your emotions is what that's saying. You dig what I mean? So find a way to communicate so one of these examples don't come up for you. So you can be all right listening to the truth and you don't have to be so emotional about that thing. Try it out. And if you find a way that you're going to get into one of those emotions, that latter example, just leave. I'm giving you a little cue, a little, you know, information, homework. Just leave. Just say, I'll be back. 2 seconds, I got to go to the bathroom. And the other person will be like, damn, you went to the bathroom like 3 times in the last 15 minutes. Yeah, I know. Something else is in the bathroom. Go in the bathroom and count to 10, quiet down, manage yourself, but talk things out, especially in the second half of Tuesday with that moon in Gemini. It wants to help you, especially through some past information regarding Venus, love, money, value, and worth, and Mercury, how we plan a thing, okay? How we think, okay? Past situations that you got to clear up. That's a lot. And I want y'all to get all of that on you. Does that feel good? Is that a good word for you? Yes, y'all is the answer. If it does, 3 Ys, if y'all new to my situation. And if it don't, you can put your thumbs down and ask a question. But because I want to know. I want to communicate. See how I did that thing? Oh, shit. Okay. Let's get her going. Wednesday, the moon stays in Gemini. Here's when the tides turn just a little bit, because possibly maybe on Tuesday you was proud of yourself. Thank y'all for talking back to me. I appreciate you, Marsha. Listens, because you listening, girl. Because you listening. Thank you, Angelique, Gemini Rising, Milana. Thank you, all Candace. I appreciate y'all. This makes all the sense in the world as it makes sense to you. I don't know what I just said, but I'm not going to explain it. I'm going to keep it moving. So, with all the things that you completed, you figured out on Tuesday through your communicative prowess, through being gentle with folks and getting to an end, a solution. That's the beauty of communication. We all need to win at the end of this communication, right? On Wednesday, you can pride yourself for it. You can pat yourself on the back because the moon in Gemini will sextile what? The sun in Aries, giving us an opportunity to talk the walk and walk the talk, right? Because Gemini moon is still talking, and that Aries, boop, knocking it out the park with some action behind that thing. I said what I said. I mean what I said. Now I'm going to walk it. Now, the things that I told you I was going to do to better this relationship, I'm going to start doing it the very next day. The things we talked about the day before in regards to me getting that job, that promotion as an employer, as a person above me, I'm going to put that into action. I'm going to write up that contract. I'm going to walk the walk. I'm going to do the things because we had that great conversation the day before. Are y'all feeling me? Y'all understand what I'm talking about? And regardless of who you are in the conversation, you add a part to that. You know, you are a catalyst for that. So do your part in the conversation by initiating it or by being a good listener like Marsha. You understand? Excuse me. By being there, accepting it. Because if you do, that other aspect on Wednesday is that moon in Gemini. Conjunct in Jupiter. Come on, y'all. Y'all know what Jupiter is about. If you're new to my channel, Jupiter is expansion. Jupiter is culture. Jupiter is philosophy. Jupiter is spirituality. Not from a religious, or I should say, not from an intuitive standpoint, more so from a religious standpoint. The doctrine, right? Jupiter is travel. Jupiter is blessings and opportunities. So staying with an example, maybe you had that conversation with your boss the day before. Yo, chick, yo, dude, I need that promotion. X, Y, and Z. These are the reasons why. And I'm going to use my Gemini moon prowess in this moment in time and explain to you so I can get that thing. On Wednesday, possibly, maybe, here it comes. I mean, Maybe the contract was already written up. You go to work the next day, and in the end of that day on Tuesday, they present the contract to you. Be like, you know what? You convinced me. You do deserve that level up. You do deserve that moment to shine. You do deserve what it is that you are worth. These are just examples, y'all. How does it apply to your life? Everybody's life is different. This is a general weekly rundown. I don't know what's going on in your life, obviously. I don't know what's going on in your natal chart, obviously, to some. You understand? So, how does this apply for you? What do you need to speak up about is the real point. What do you need to write? Now, that's a whole nother story, too, because Neptune and Aries nowadays, can we stop and pause and talk about that thing? We talked about it briefly last week, but I want to harp on one thing before I go over into Thursday, because communication has everything to do with writing as well. We all agree? Now, check out this little alley-oop. Just go with me. Neptune going into Aries is bringing out the need to not necessarily write, but the need to be imaginative in a fiery type of way. So if you are a lyricist, if you are a journalist, if you are a gosh darn columnist, if you are a novelist, if you are a poet, if you are a songwriter, if you do anything with words, if you're an orator, if you like to go out there and talk on YouTube, talk on Instagram about what it is that you feel, all things communication. If you like little bits of technology that can help further communication, understand this. The blessings are coming, but not only that, Neptune in that is saying it's coming, the information, the imagination is coming from the ethers. It's time to write. It's time to put it out. The Neptune in Aries. I don't know if y'all been feeling it, but as a writer myself, I'm not even gonna lie. I wrote like 3 songs this past weekend. And I know sometimes, a lot of times, I use myself as an example because I can only speak from my perspective, although I'm giving it generally and hoping some of it lands. You understand what I'm saying? But I knew what that little burst of like, oh, it's on and popping. Neptune in Aries has our imagination on fire. Okay? Our imagination is on fire. So if your imagination is on fire and it wants to come out in a communicative way, Gemini style, here comes some rewards for that on Wednesday as it hit up against Jupiter. Your Neptune squares that Jupiter. I don't understand that, Duchess Plum. Neptune is not squaring Jupiter. It is not in the transit sky. I don't want to get anybody confused, but there's a question over here on IG, and I just want to sort of kind of find a way to, because I may have lost you or not. I'm sorry. But the bottom line is that the transit Neptune is not near. No. Neptune is in Aries. Jupiter is in Gemini. That's not a direct sextile, but it's not a square. Okay. Anyway, some people on YouTube definitely been pushing myself through the storytelling. Come on, China Wang, see? Gemini rising. I've been writing some. Let's get this straight message. Yes. And here's, Mister, can you sit down? Stop doing that. Here's to the people that do write or have this imagination that you know that you can, that's supposed to be activated in this way. Like you feel the propulsion, you feel the initiation, but you can't necessarily get it out. Just pick up your journal. Literally pick up your journal or pick up a piece of paper. And I like to call it, and some of my clients in the village may know this, toilet writing. What I offer is that you you write in your journal all the things that just want to come out of your head. Like for real. Don't worry about the grammar. Don't worry about punctuations. And please don't even read it back. Okay. If you don't want nobody to see what it is you're writing, I always subscribe that we write on one piece of paper. We start at the top and keep going. And then go back to the top and write some more. and then go back to the top and write some more. Obviously, it'll be illegible and you won't be able to read it because it'll look like a mess. But the transcription, the whole transmission, that's the best word, the whole transmission coming from the ethers through your body to your fingertips to the pen will allow all the things to come out and unblock you so you can write. I just wanted to give that little tidbit. Does that make sense? And is that helpful for anybody out there? I hope so. And again, if you have questions about this Tuesday, Wednesday mashup, kicking them out the park and letting them go, yo, let me know. Put it up as I want to answer them and hopefully put it in a way in which formulate the question in a way in which everybody can benefit from. Okay, Thursday, let's keep it moving. That moon will stay in Gemini for a little time, but then at the end of Thursday, Eastern Standard Time, 6:50 p.m. At the end of Thursday, the moon goes into Cancer. So Thursday begins with us feeling a little bit gnarly. Just a little bit. Why? Because that moon in Gemini in the beginning of the day wants to square up Saturn. Moon in Gemini squares Saturn and Pisces. Pisces and Gemini don't normally get along, y'all. They come from two different necks of the woods. You dig? So I know you've been superficially keeping us afloat, is what Saturn is saying to the moon. But it's time to get deep, back inside for some instructions. Now, this is the problem, and this is the square. This is the challenge in that situation, is that sometimes we can get too high. Sometimes we can levitate and get too airy with that moon in Gemini. You understand? Setting it up and knocking it out with Aries and stuff, feeling vindicated by the things that you've been talking about, feeling, again, light and airy and superficial in the best way. Right? Superficial, key-heeing. Gemini is good for key-heeing, keeping things right on the crust. Like we don't need to go too deep, but Thursday morning, we wake up with that moon in Gemini, trying to stay light, trying to keep apart, trying to just talk shit. Try to things. It wants to square up Saturn's but don't remember to pray. We can be light, but don't remember your disciplines. We can be light, but don't remember you got some fears to walk through still. The party ain't over. You understand? It's never over. The switch ups, though. Aren't you like blown away by the switch ups, the understandings that's the universe and your ancestors and guides, they keep you in check. And this ain't a big hiccup, y'all. This is just remembering why you feel good. Thank God for you feeling good with that sense. While you feeling good, thank yourself. Thank the people around you. Don't get your ego in a bunch. Thank the people around you for getting to where you were or where you are, because you had to utilize them in the best way possible to move through some fears. You understand? Gemini energy can go as it's staying light. It can not necessarily forget, but it goes to where it wants to fly. You understand? And that Saturn in Pisces is like, yeah, you can fly, but don't forget about the emotional connections. Don't forget about the discipline and the light. Don't forget about the boundaries that we put up. Don't forget about the hard work that we did on our inner self. There's more instructions to get. Does this make sense, y'all? Again, it's not heavy. It's just a check. That moon in Cancer, the end of Thursday evening, right, wants to square up Venus retrograde. Ooh, 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 ooh. Are you not feeling the combative energy to revisit love or prove value? So staying with an example that I just mentioned a little while ago, I mean, maybe you speaking through that Venus retrograde. Boo Boo called you on Tuesday and was like, yeah, can we talk through this thing? And you're like, you know what, moon is in Gemini. Yep, let's do that thing. Let me tell you what I feel. Well, on Thursday, that cat may call back and be like, so I understand how you feel. You think we have another chance? Or I understand how you feel, and I don't necessarily like X, Y, and Z, so I'm going to say A, B, C. Now there's a fight. Why? Because that moon in Cancer wants to square Venus in Aries on Thursday as it goes retrograde. So possibly, maybe somebody can take 2 days to get all up in their feelings. And they understand what was said, The boss said what he said and was like, yeah, I'm gonna give you this promotion, but I may have to retract that thing. For what? For why? For how? What happened? And it may not be personal. It may just take a minute to like iron out some kinks or whatever with that employer and promotion example, But there's a little bit of confrontation that wants to happen now because your feelings all in a bunch about the worth and the love that you either denied and or redesigned. You did, because it's in retrograde, that rephase. You get that? Talk to me, y'all. Am I moving too fast? I'm orange juice drunk out this mug. Y'all let me know. On Thursday, that moon in Cancer wants to square up Mercury going retrograde. Well, there you go. Because Venus is in Aries and it's going retrograde. Mercury is in Aries, it's going retrograde. There you go. Boom, 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 boom. They ride in tandem. They riding shotgun right now. So these arguments about the value and the worth and the love out of Venus wants to piggyback again on Mercury, how you saying the thing. You may not say the right things. You might want to wait to have that conversation. Thursday might not be the day to revisit what it is you already said. Because now in some way you got to hone in. You got to hone in the point on Thursday. And if you don't have the emotional wherewithal with that Cancer moon, because that can bring in a lot of hurt feelings, that can bring in a lot of emotions, that can bring up a lot of past pain. Cancer energy loves to dwell in the past and the nostalgia of things. I hope this is hitting y'all. And I know this is kind of future telling in a way. So you're like, I don't know if it hits me yet or not. But what I'm saying is, I hope you understand it. I hope it makes sense. And I hope you are mindful of it as we ride on into this week. Because also, there's another planet in the sky that's Aries, in which that Cancer energy wants to square, and that's new Neptune in Aries. So the active imagination wants to keep you up, dreaming and being creative, but I don't feel like it. Find a way to do both. So here's the thing. You get into these moments on Thursday. You revisiting Venus and then there's a problem. You revisiting Mercury and there's a problem. And with Aries involved, there's possibly a fight. I'm reiterating on purpose, right? And then we have to go into Neptune. So Neptune, now being in Aries and squaring up that moon, says I'm going to shut down my imagination and or my dreams. I should say my sleeping is compromised. Now I can't go to sleep. Thursday night may be a hard night to sleep because things are on the dome. You may feel like you're a little bit overactive in your ethereal space, like your ancestors and everybody's just talking way too much. They're like, can you go to bed? And you're like, you go to bed. I'm trying to go to sleep. I can't hear you. I can't talk to you because you're just too much. It's too much is going on. There's a lot of activity. And that Cancer moon says, I don't feel like talking to none of y'all. Cancer information is very interesting sometimes. It's an open-ended heart. It's an open-ended source and well of feelings and emotions and care and concern and understanding. However, some never. When it doesn't want to do a thing, when it doesn't feel like activating that open-hearted energy, it will shut the fuck down. Have you ever seen a mean Cancer? And I know I've asked y'all this question before. Have you ever seen a brutal Cancer who has shut down their heart? I am one of them. And there's a few people in my life right now who I have love for, but I'm not fucking with. And I swear to God, if I see you on the street, I'll walk right by you. Why? It's me. Call it immature. Call it whatever you want to judge me by. But I know I got a lot of love as a Cancer. And I know I also have to protect the love that I have. I've learned that the hard way. But some Cancer and Cancer energy, if not utilized and understood properly, can shut that all down and everybody becomes the enemy. Don't do that on Thursday, okay? Don't make everybody the energy. The enemy. Okay, because why? Because your imagination is overactive. Because why? Because we're revisiting Mercury retrograde shit. Because why? Because I used to love you, but I don't love you no more. Get out my life. God, didn't I tell you that on Tuesday in a nice Gemini kind of Tupac kind of way? Why you want to come back when I'm all in my feelings now and I'm in my mood and you want me to re-explain? I ain't got time for that. I hope this is being understood. It's an interesting energy I'm just trying to warn y'all about. Because if you shut it down, then I mean, what's the point of doing the work? What's the point of loving? What's the point of communicating? What's the point of shining? What's the point of building it up in order to knock them out? What's the point? Because you got to have your heart space in that. You got to have your heart in the whole thing. Does this make sense? I know I asked that a lot, y'all, but I can't see your faces. I can't read you. Does this make sense? Saturday, I skipped the whole day. Friday is a little interesting. Now check out these major, thank y'all for answering me. Thank you, D Stokes. Hi, D Stokes. Thank you, Marsha Listens. Thank you. Now, Friday, the moon stays in Cancer. Again, it's a watery day. It's just a watery day. So try to manage your emotions as much as possible. And again, keep that heart open. And did I say the reason why Cancer energy has to keep that heart open with boundaries and not shut it down so fiercely you become brittle? Cancer energy has to love. It has to love in order to nurture, in order to mother, in order to care, because nobody does it like a Cancer. Nobody really wants to read people's hearts like a Cancer. People listen for facts. People listen to know what they should do next. People listen to know how they should service. That would be Virgo and a lot of mutable signs. People listen, right? Cancers are the only ones that really listen past the skin. They go into your heart. That's how we survive. So try not to shut your heart all the way down, even though there's some things that you may or may not want to do on Thursday, right? Just try to keep that heart open enough to the point where you can say, today is not a good day. Emotionally, I'm not all the way in there. I'm not completely mature. So let's move it to another day to talk about these things before we end up fighting. I just wanted to leave that with a period and hope that hits some of y'all the way it needs to. On Friday, again, with that moon being in Cancer, you got to keep that heart open. Again, this is where I was going. So your heart can beat, so you can open more and you can invite more love, because we need the love too. And that's the only way it's going to come through, is if you open. If you shut down, nothing's coming to you and nothing's going out. For Friday, Saturn is sextiling Uranus. Come on now. This is where the change meets the discipline. This is where the hard work, and the boundaries meets the switch up. I love this. Thank you, Spirit. Check out this. So if you keep that heart open, you keep that love pulsating. And I like to say that Cancer love is better worked like a screen in the window. I was telling these new friends that I found on the beach yesterday. That was a great morning. Some new sweet people. That Cancer energy is like a screen in the window. You got to be able to have the love go back and forth like air, unobstructed. But then when there's some solid things that want to come in, it's like, hey, hold on. That screen blocks it. When the things that really want to come through, that really want to hurt, that screen can block it. You dig? It's necessary for Friday to keep that in mind as you keep your heart open, because disciplines are going to come. Fears are going to come up. And these fears, these disciplines are going to have to coincide with the shifts, with the changes that are happening, with the rebelliousness that's happening. I don't think I explained that properly. With an open heart, we're better to recognize our disciplines and our values so we can change on a dime. It's better to know who the fuck we are. It's better to breathe, take a deep breath inside and ask ourselves, what do we want to do in this moment as things are moving by fast and quick and swift in the way Uranus likes to do it. But when Uranus shifts and switches those quick things and these sporadic rebellious offerings that's happening on Friday morning, Saturn says, don't worry about it. I got my discipline. And the only way that I can access my discipline is by keeping my heart open. The only way I can pray to Spirit, the only way I can talk to my ancestors to help me with these changes, Uranus, that are happening, is to keep my heart open. It's to still be love. Be love. Does that make sense? Ooh, that felt good going through my body, y'all. And here's the other reason why. because right after that, the Mars is sextiling Uranus. So if we got the rhythm, we got the discipline, we got the open-hearted feel on Friday, then Mars says, okay, let's do something with it. Let's do something with it. It's time to crab attack now, is what I put in my notes. Let's do something with this needed shift. Time for a crab attack, because you are what? Protected. You are what? Safe. Because you found a way to manage your own emotions and to make yourself safe in the moment. Don't look for safety to come from other people. They don't know how you want to be safe. They don't even know how to safely administer love and protection onto themselves, let alone onto you. So on Friday, it's like you are safe because the switches happen and you had some discipline there. Saturn said, talk to your ancestors, pray, drop, stop, and roll. And then Mars is like, all right, so let's do something with that. Move on the switches, moves on a change. You understand what I'm saying? Make things happen in a way that you would never, ever see yourself doing it. On Friday, this promotion is going to come back into your life. This love is going to come into your life. Now you're going to handle it differently. Whatever switches, whatever changes, whatever rebellious movements that come into your life, you're going to handle it with Mars's perception, with Mars's initiation, with Mars's energy. Even though it's in Cancer, it's forthright. Again, don't get it twisted. Attack like a crab, because when a crab is done moving sideways, Mars in Cancer, when a crab is done moving sideways, it hones in on what it wants and it goes for it. And it doesn't matter who's in the way. Trust and believe. Also, that Mars is trining up against Saturn. Move with the flow and the movement of what's initiated. You have the strength. Just believe it. You got it. Just believe in it. So Saturn, Mars, and Uranus is forming a nice little threesome, little triple happening, something going down, right? With Mars and Uranus and Saturn. That's all that is saying, is when the change is happening, rock with it, with discipline and with a surety. Let's do it. And then Friday evening, it gets a little crunchy, a little crap shot, boop, thrown in the mix. The moon wants to square up against the sun, because the moon is in Cancer and the sun is in Aries. Aries and Cancer don't typically rock together, coming from two edges of the woods. You dig what I'm saying? So it can be a little crunchy. There can be a little misunderstanding. There can be a little pop off. There can be some hurt feelings. You understand? And a lot of people, I wrote in my notes, this is for somebody because I wrote it. A lot of people just want a hug. On Friday evening, you might feel a little crunchy because you're tired and you just need a hug. Just ask for it. Don't be an asshole and don't lie to yourself, because you do need it. Okay? Don't lie to yourself, because you do need it. Now, I'm going to go on a straight little squirrel tangent kind of moment here, because the word lie kind of sparks something that I want to tell y'all real quick. Aries energy, with the sun being in Aries, squaring up against this moon, this little crunchy ass moment in which the moon is like, yo, I just need a hug. I just want to feel good about it. And the sun being in Aries could absolutely lie. To say, I don't need a hug, and then there's the confrontation. Blend into the hug if you need it. Aries energy does lie. And I'm going to tell you why. It's not like it's like all Aries are liars. Please don't let your mind go there. Don't hear me differently through your own pain, through your own perception. What I'm saying is Aries energy has the propensity to lie because it's a baby, because it's new, because it believes that if I believe the story, everybody else is too. If I believe the thing, if I make it exciting, if I make it big enough, if I make it believable, then everybody else will believe it too. Well, boo-boo, that's not quite true. It's like a 5-year-old telling you, no, mommy, really, there's a dinosaur in the bathroom. And it's really just like your robe sitting on the wall in the dark with some shoes underneath it, and it looks like a big old monster. But that Aries energy will make you believe it through what? Unnecessary confrontation, through passion, through information that hasn't been proven yet. You understand what I'm saying? Aries energy lies and makes up stories so people can follow its lead. It can be very underbelly and very dangerous. Okay? So don't find yourself lying because the moon in Cancer just wants to lay a big little hug on you, a little bit of emotion on you, a little bit of tenderness on you. Find a way to do it both. Find the tenderness, find the care, find the love, find the concern, as well as Aries saying, okay, I got enough of that on me. Now I need to go. Now I need to do something. Now I need to be Aries. Now I need to initiate some things. Now I need to think about myself. Does that make sense, y'all? Talk to me. Talk to me. Hi, Carla Vega. How you doing? Saturday. I'm almost done. The moon will be in Cancer still. Look at that. I feel like I'm repeating myself because it's another one of those days. But here's the changes. Uranus is hitting up right nice with the moon. The moon being in Cancer, Uranus being in Taurus. Work your new skin easily. It looks tender on you. Work your new skin easily. It looks tender on you. Even though that sun is in Aries and it wants to be the baby, it wants to be forthright, it wants to be blunt. The moon in Cancer is hitting up with Uranus going, okay, let Aries energy be bright, be out, be open. But know that there's some switches, there's some changes, there's some need for you to be a rebel in a situation that allows you to do it tenderly, to say, no, that's not my bad this time. Nope, I stopped smoking. I'm not going to that party because they have X, Y, and Z there, and that's not me. Thank you very much. I'm switching up and I'm going to go over here and spend less money, okay? Thank you for the invitation. Nope, I don't want to talk to him. He called me a bitch the other day. Much love to him, but I'm going to go over here and switch and do something else. Understand, you can shine brightly in your truth, but you can switch on a dime with tenderness. Also, that moon in Cancer trines Saturn, more feeling proud of yourself and your disciplines. Let's go. And that's what I'm going to leave it on that. And also, let's go, because the moon in Cancer is what? Conjuncting Mars. Ooh, that's a feel good kind of day. That's also an eating day. That Cancer energy is going to run. It's going to do its job to feel through everything. My suggestion for Saturday is literally do what you feel. Literally do what you feel, and do it in a way, because the sun is in Aries, in which you are passionate about it, in which you are ready to do it, in which you are initiating, calling up some friends, going, you know what I feel like doing today? Going to the park and eating these cupcakes I just made. All right, girl, let's go. Emphatically, let's do that thing. You understand? I'm shortening up these examples because I feel like I'm taking a little bit too much time. And I want to give y'all a little bit of space for any questions. And again, hope this information is landing. Somebody is reminding me to tap into somebody's people. And I don't necessarily want to do this, but I do every now and again. So I'm going to hold off and just go through Sunday. And then I'm going to tap into somebody's grandmother that's on the other side that just passed through. Sunday, the moon is in Leo. The moon is in Leo, and it will be opposition to Pluto, power. So share your joy and courage with the people to balance out your power. Share your joy and courage with people to balance out the power dynamic. Joy always is the great equalizer. When everybody is laughing and having a good time, that's the balancer. There you go. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. All right. Venus retrograded back into Pisces, okay, by Sunday. And it's going to sit up right and nice with Mars in Cancer. Here we go. Another opportunity, the third opportunity for this love situation to come back after you done talked about it, but basically about how to show your worth, how much you're worth, how much your value. That's coming back. That's coming back on Saturday, Sunday, but you'll be able to deal with it from a different perspective, from a more loving, emotional, concern type of perspective. Also, Sunday, also the sun in Aries is sextile in Jupiter in Gemini. It is a good day to what? knock them out the park, because that sun in Aries, active fire, and that Gemini Jupiter says, let's do it and let's give it to all the people in all the ways and receive all the blessings in all different types of ways, so we can do what? Continue to regenerate the prosperity and the joy, and give it to the people. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, in this moment in time, I am incredibly distracted. So please forgive me. There's an older lady on the other side of somebody's grandmother that just left. Her name begins with a J. I want to say it's Josephine, but that's my grandmother. I don't think it's Josephine. But I want to say it's Janine or it's Josephine. It's somebody that's giving somebody a big, big, big old hug. There's a sweater that they're putting on you, or they have this sweater on that's very, very, very important. It's a light pink. And if it's somebody that knows what I'm talking about, that y'all buried her in this pink, y'all have one of these pink sweaters of hers. There's a lot of people on the other side, y'all. And honestly, most of them, as I see them now and open up the veil for myself, they are all very, 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 very patient, because they don't want to bombard the scene. And I appreciate that. But there is this one lady who's really trying to get out this information. Thank you. I think it's important because there's babies involved. I think there's importance because there's babies involved, meaning that this grandmother is trying to bust through this message, or trying to let you know, the lady that starts with the J, trying to let you know that your babies or the children that are of question, something's going on with the kids, like if they're going through in the middle of a divorce or something like that, that y'all need to pay better attention to the babies, more attention to the babies. She is very emphatic. And she's a gosh darn bully. Like, to be truthful with you, for her to bust through this thing and everybody is standing there just letting her take over. It's an interesting scene in my mind, y'all. But I just wanted to say that because, again, she distracted me in the last couple of minutes, and that needed to be pushed out. So there you go. I hope that hits for somebody. Ooh, there is another man too, a really, really tall man. He looks like a black Clark Kent. That's on the other side. He's in a suit, but he doesn't have a tie. He just has a white shirt on and a black jacket and black pants. He's very, very, he looks like this. He's doing this. He's very intellectual and has his hands like this with his other hand underneath. He's like watching the scene. I want to say he was either a professor. He just went over too within the last year. I hear a T name, Tom, somebody, but he just went over in the last year or so. And he is begging the person that he knows, an elder or an uncle. He's definitely an elder, maybe not as old as a grandfather, maybe as old as an uncle, but he is begging somebody on here to get back into school. I don't know who I'm talking to, but I'm just going to take 30 seconds to say this. Your mind never goes blank. Your mind never goes blank. There's somebody that needs to go back into school and to do some things. And they know once they get the certificate, once they get this diploma, whatever the hell it is, this certification, this validation, that you're going to make double time than what you're making as far as money is concerned. And life will be a whole lot better. I don't know if it's real estate or something like that, but there's something blocking you in your own mind that's telling you, I can't do this thing. I can't do this thing because I'm dumb. I can't do this thing because I can't remember anything. I don't have no memory. All the kids are going to be younger than me in the class. Like, you're setting yourself up to fail. But you're driving yourself crazy too, because you do know what it is you need to do. Like, I feel you like going in this weird ass loop, whoever this is for. And I'm not looking at the thing on purpose because I don't want to get confused by people thinking it's them or not them or whatever. I just want to have this conversation. But whoever is blocking themselves for some type of schooling, please stop. Like, it feels unnecessary. It really feels unnecessary to the point where I just want to, whoever it is, I want to be your big sister and like bully you and be like, what's wrong with you? You used to get straight A's. How you think you lost your brain? Just because you was drinking at one point and you feel like you can't do this anymore and your brain is, or just because you have menopause or you had 6 kids and you feel like they took your brain, like, you setting yourself up to fail. Anyway, thank y'all for being patient through those moments, because I do my best to block them out when I do these readings, because way too many people on the other side wants to come through, and it's kind of difficult to manage that. But so thank y'all for being patient to get this card, and I really appreciate your attendance here. By the way, if anybody wants to get a reading, I see people in my readings. It's like a 3-part read. The first part is I connect with your ancestors and guides, and I really would like if you are just completely silent, because that helps. And then allow that information to come through. The second part, we go into your natal chart based on the time and the date and place of your birth. And then the third part, we go into a tarot spread with these wonderful cards that are like my ride or dies. To solidify the entire reading. Okay. And if you at some point like you feel like you're financially challenged, do it with a friend. I'll do 2 people at one time. You can split the reading in half. I will say this, and I caution you, if you decide to do it that way, is that sometimes, depending on who's on the other side and depending on what's going on in your life, oftentimes one person's people may take over the read. And I'll do my best to give equal billing to both, because you paid an equal amount of money or whatever. But oftentimes, depending, they don't care about money. They don't care about, oh, is it fair that you pay one something and you pay this and this? They don't care about that. They just need to get you sat down and to say the thing. And then y'all work it out later on. So that's the only caution with that. But my readings are dope. I've been doing them for years. And even though I'm switching into artist mode and performing a whole lot more. Oh, by the way, shit, since I'm talking about it, I might as well announce it for the folks who are diligent enough to come and check a sister out and listen to my readings and stay an hour and 15 minutes and 5 seconds. I have a residency at the Del Monte Speakeasy, y'all. Woo-hoo! If you are in town June 1st, July 6th, which is the day before my birthday, and August 10th, you should come on through to the Del Monte. Once a month, June, July, and August. Your girl set it up, and I'm knocking them out with the help of my really good friends, Louie and Nettie Ryan, who own it. I'm so grateful. I am so grateful. And by the way, tentatively speaking, 80% sure, and I'm saying this out of excitement, so if it changes, please don't accuse me. But Cody Chestnut is going to be on the July 6th date. Y'all know about Cody Chestnut? You better do some goddamn research. We gonna have some fun. I think y'all should get there, because the place can only hold 200 people. I'm just letting y'all know it. It's going down, clowns. The flyers will circulate really, really soon, but I just got excited and a little premature and had to put it on out there. So even though I am in my artist mode and I'm doing the things to make the things happen and to get back on the stage to talk to y'all, I do love doing readings. I really, 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 really do. That will never, ever, ever, ever stop. Never, ever stop. So come on and get a read, and definitely come see us on stage, okay? All right. Thank you, Carla Vega. Thank you, ZP. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We need some live streams. You know what, these folks? There's a sister that approached me recently, and thank you for reminding me. I got to reach out to her. Ooh, thank you for reminding me. They have a new company in which they are doing live streaming. And it's a Black-owned company. Thank you for reminding me. Yes, yes, yes. I'm working on that, at least for one of the shows. Okay. I see some comments coming up. Chanel, my great aunt was Josephine, and we buried her in pink. My son and his mother of his child are going through it, and my grandbaby's grades are dropping. Thank you. Oh, it was for you. That's way too many details. Freaking confirmed. Oh, Chanel, that's for you, baby. I love you too, mama. I love you too. And I was glad. I'm happy. I'm trying to get the words out of my mouth right now. But I'm happy that landed for you. I'm happy they were able to come through for you, Chanel. Not forgetting y'all on IG real quick. Thank you for the congratulations. Live stream will be dope. I'm working on that. But Chanel, I'm grateful that I was able to open up and allow that to come through, because I was fighting it for a minute. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm like, no, can't do that. And they're like, quietly, they're like, let's just do it. So anyway, yeah, pray. Get into your prayer mode, sweet lady. Prayers are powerful. That's what they say. You have the power to do that. You may not thinking, but you were praying fool. So make that happen. They need you, and they don't even, girl, I'm not gonna read you right now. People in the family don't need to know you doing it. How about that? This is for everybody. You can pray for people and you don't need to let them know you doing it. Okay? Send them light them a candle. Everything in good intention is always permitted. You understand what I'm saying? When you start doing weird ass shit, then that's a whole nother moral thing that y'all need to talk about with your damn selves, not with me, because I don't promote it and I don't want to talk about it. But I'm talking about in the light of God, in the light of all things true. You can pray for your family and light candles. You understand what I'm saying? Put some good energy on that, because them babies need you. Oh, girl. Okay. Let me stop. Great Mother, Father, God, and all my guardian angels and ancestor spirits, all out. To see exactly what it is we need to see. Information that have joy come through. Thousand messages come through about what it is we need to hear. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you for this time. Thank you for the light that you've given. Thank you. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for y'all being here. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your belief and understanding. Thank you, God. Thank you for the messages and the light that is coming through. We appreciate your power and your protection. Boop. Boop, bap, boop, 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 bap, boop, boop. That's the waiting music. Boop, 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 bap, boop, 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 bap, boop, boop, bap, boop, boop, boop. Okay. Okay, hold on. Hold on. You ready? You're very, very welcome, Milana. You're welcome. Okay. Hi, it's an adventure. It's time for an adventure, boys and girls. Let's do it. In the Cookie Monster voice. Let's do it. Oh, I love this card. Yes. Time for a straight adventure. I hope this resonates with y'all. Come on. Here we go. Oh my goodness. Lord have mercy on my soul. Okay, here we go. Boom, chicky boom, boom. When we are truly in the spirit of adventure, we are moving just like this child, full of trust, out of the darkness of the forest and into a rainbow of light. We go step by step, drawn to our sense of wonder into the unknown. Adventure really has nothing to do with plans and maps and programs and organization. The page of rainbows represents a quality that can come to us anywhere, at home or in the office, in the wilderness or in the city, in a creative project or in our relationships with others. Whenever we move into the new, and the unknown with the trusting spirit of a child, innocent and open and vulnerable, even the smallest things of life can become the greatest adventures. Ashe. Amen. Aho Watakwe. I say, take that. Take that. Because it's a new day, y'all. I know y'all feeling brand new. I know you're feeling brand new after this week, this weekend of eclipses. I know you are. And I know even within this week, you're going to feel this new. You're going to feel this need to join in on this adventure, to be that baby, even though it's an Aries and sometimes it can lie. Even though it's like it's a monster in that little rainbow of light. No, it's not, boo boo. Just walk in there and see what happens. Let's see if we can get some of this juicy, juicy colorings on us. Let's see if we can come out with some new memories. All right. Meet some new people. Have some good times. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy your life. All right. It's yours. Go on, do that thing. I talk to you another time. All right. Adios. Be good to yourself.